Welcome to Real Mob Stories with James Proctor. I'm here with my friend and former partner, Lee Cole. How are you doing today, Lee?
Well, good. I appreciate you. And I know, just so people know, that we're going to show this on both our channels.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided to get together and do it here. And
Yeah.
then, so I'll show it on my channel. You'll show it in your channel. And I guess we'll just start talking about it, right?
Yeah. Definitely. I think that sounds good. And I know that what we're doing today is a little bit off topic of our normal stuff. Of you talking about wrestling, me talking about the mob, but I think it's really relevant. This is
It's
what
relevant
happened
in any genre,
in any genre, and it's I'll be honest, it's been very it's been on my mind, since it happened. I didn't really sleep well, and it was very close to being a lot worse than what it is. But then you still lost. A guy lost his life. We can't forget that.
And this is the gentleman right here that lost his life. And his name was Corey Compentor. And
Mm-hmm.
um, retired fireman, and he died while being laying on top of his family. He got
Yes.
shot, and he died right away. He died at the scene, I believe.
Yes.
And so that's the only good thing. He didn't suffer. But
Mm-hmm.
the fact of the matter is that he did die, and I guess we can all wish his family the best. And
Yeah.
what we're going to talk about now too is first of all, if you're on here and you're sometimes you got to know when not to attack people. I can honestly say, God forbid, if this happened to Joe Biden, I would never be on here attacking the man.
No, I wouldn't either.
It's a horrible thing, but you're going to get people like that, and there's nothing you can do about it. Everybody's entitled to have their own opinion.
Yes.
And
we do too. We have the right to have our opinion too.
And I'm going to have my opinion now because they're saying that this guy right here, Thomas Crooks, shot and he was the shooter.
Mm.
And it's funny though, because yesterday when it happened, the first thing I said, I was on the phone to Renee. The first thing I said to him, I said, "Oh, they're going to kill the shooter. The shooter's, Lee Harvey Oswald all over again."
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think that we're supposed to believe that a shooter was they accidentally left a building rooftop open 120 yards away? Does that does this add up?
It doesn't add up. I mean, to me, the problem is a couple of things that really bothered me about this is one, that you leave that space open. That's the one spot that if someone wanted to do something like they did yesterday, that's a place to do it. And why wasn't there a Secret Service member on top of that building? That was a perfect spot as well for Secret Service to be able to survey the crowd and see what's going on. And how do you get a kid that perimeter is, they're trying to say, oh, it wasn't in the perimeter. That's not true. It was. People were parking it out there, and he could, Secret Service. It's weird that a guy was able to, climb up and get on top of there. That took a few minutes, especially with an AR rifle with him. So something is off on this.
Yeah, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But I'm trying to see if I can find another. If you want to talk for 1 minute, wait. You know what? I have it. Okay.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. So I want you to first. We're going to play what this guy says right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this was done by the BBC, and I'm hoping that we don't get.
I want to tell you, the BBC probably did the best job of all. It's amazing. You have a British broadcasting company that did a lot better job of reporting this than the American.
Yes, BBC and Australian.
In Australia.
They both, if you go online, I was watching them last night because CNN did not, even when they knew it was an assassination attempt, it took CNN 12 hours. They kept saying that first CNN said he had a fall. Then they said that he got injured in an accident.
Yeah.
But all this time, everybody knew that he was shot.
Right. And you know what also happened was USA Today. I think I sent you a little screenshot of it. You know what they said was that, oh, there was a loud noise that startled Trump and the people in the crowd. Okay.
Yes.
Say that to the person that lost their family, lost their dad, their husband. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Some of the stuff that came out there. And even when Trump said, and then CBS said that when Trump did his statement and said he was basically shot in the ear, they were saying basically that has not been confirmed.
Then they said it's a ricochet. It's a ricochet.
Yeah,
The hate that
yeah,
these people have in their heart is
yes,
unbelievable. And
yeah.
first, this
Just
is
play
where,
this. Yep.
yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police are like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And
first of all, the weird thing here, before we finish this, the weird thing is he's talking about the police. This is 120 yards away. The media keeps saying outside the perimeter. I've been to Trump rallies. I've seen outside the perimeter in the Trump rallies.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen how much you're searched. And when I went to Colorado Springs and seen Trump, they had the whole entire university and beyond, the streets and the roads, and this is before Trump was ever ex-president. This is when when he was running in 2016, the first time.
Right.
When you go in there, they check you thoroughly. It's almost impossible to get a gun in there. They have dogs in there looking for guns that might be planted or something. So that part outside the perimeter, but it's only 120 yards. So let's put this on.
Next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Yes, it's a very good question. Why were the Secret Service not on a roof 120 yards away?
Yeah, that's my biggest question on this. Really, is why wasn't there? They plan these things out thoroughly normally, and this was a very big security lapse. No reason this should have happened.
And but one thing that has happened. A martyr has been created.
Mm-hmm.
And whether people like to hear this or not, Donald Trump is now a martyr. And a martyr is usually created when someone dies. He's a living martyr. Okay. And this picture right here will go down in history as one of the most famous pictures ever. So for the Trump haters, this is going to be etched in your brain forever.
Yeah.
And so will this. Now, people say, oh, Trump's not a tough guy. James, you think Trump's a tough guy?
Yeah, I mean, you should have seen. So he, normally you would think something like this would have happened. He instinctively went down to the ground, but then he was not going to allow them to carry him off. They were not, he said, "Let me get my shoes," and then he pump fisted the crowd. But the thing was, he was not going to allow what happened to prevent him from letting the people know that he was okay and that he would survive that. To see the blood and all of that, I mean, I just thought it is iconic. That photo is going to just be etched forever in the country's history.
And the really thing, if that was Biden, and I'm not, God, thank God it's not Biden, but being thrown down to the ground like that, or he went down to the ground. And listen, I'm 64. I know if I go down to the ground, it hurts like a mother. I'm going to be like, damn, I got to get up. It's like,
they jumped him after that. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he has injuries from going down on the ground like that. He's 78 years old. Biden would be 81. I mean, this is not something that Biden, they might have to literally carry out like he's on a bed.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fact that he got up and then he pumped his fist like that, and he said, "Fight, fight, fight." And I know Trump haters aren't going to like that. Right now, Trump haters are sitting back. Some of them aren't. The ones that are really ignorant are talking negative about him right now, but that's okay. But it's like, it doesn't matter which. Here's the timing. And this is what people have to take in mind. If Trump was assassinated yesterday, here's what happens, people. His vice president has not been named yet. That means that this would go to a convention, and the Republican Party would get to put in whoever they wanted, which would most likely be someone like Haley. It would be one of the real rhino liberals. That's what would happen. I mean, rhino Republicans. So the fact that, he did not name his, and he also said that he was going to make a big announcement yesterday. So people were under the assumption that he may have even announced who his vice president choice was yesterday. So once he makes his vice president choice, if something happened to him, that vice president would most likely be nominated at the convention this week.
Yeah.
So they missed him. And I'll guarantee you he's gonna keep a low profile until he gets to that to that convention. But I want to show you how much they missed him by. This is one of the most incredible shots ever, James. Look at that. That line, that circle line right there is the bullet that just hit his ear.
Wow, that's amazing to be able to get a shot like that.
Yeah, it was done by a Times reporter, so that's going to be a one of those award-winning pictures. I mean, it's an incredible picture that you could, that he literally had the camera to slow down that picture like that. But that's so he was within a quarter inch of changing history.
Yeah,
everything would have been. There would have been a lot of happy people yesterday if he went down. Wouldn't there have been, James?
Yeah, there would have been, and then, I mean, there would have. I don't want to think what would have happened. It would have been a lot of chaos, a lot of problems if this had went down that way. And so, I mean, yeah, you have had some people happy, but it's a tragedy. I mean, in our democracy, these things you don't want happening. It doesn't matter which party you're part of or any of that. It's a sad day. It's just not something that we want. I mean, this is the first time this has happened since, I guess, 1981 with Reagan.
Yes.
As the last attempt.
Okay, I want to put up two things that you sent these to me to put up, James. So you don't mind if I put them up, right?
No, please go ahead.
Okay. First, this is Michael Francis. Two things that he said. The demonizing of Donald Trump by the left needs to stop now. Enough of your lies. You want to get this man killed. Every one of you who publicly demonize this man have blood on your hands. An innocent person's dead, another injured along with Trump. Enough. What do you think about what he's saying there?
No, I agree with it, especially we can't lose sight that there was someone killed. That's the thing. It was more than just Trump. You had a person protecting his family, a former firefighter that he lost his life.
And you currently
So,
have other people in the hospital in serious to critical condition.
yeah,
Not just, yeah.
exactly. And that's something that we have to remember. But then the demonized, what happens is that, when you have this, you get people triggered. They start to, um, unstable people will do unstable things. And so, yeah, he's totally 100% right on this.
You see what really though really makes me think worse of this whole thing, that just goes deeper than just that kid up there. I mean, that
Mhm.
20-year-old. It
Right.
turned out that he was very bullied in school.
Yeah.
A witness that went to school with him said that it was horrible, that he was bullied every day for years.
Hmm.
And Manchurian candidates, programmed candidates.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've ever heard that saying, but it was a very
Yeah.
famous movie originally
Manchurian Candidate. Yeah.
with Frank Sinatra, and then there was a couple other remakes of it. But
Hmm.
there was actually there's a program where people are programmed.
Hmm.
Now this kid has no record. He's a registered Republican that donated to the progressive movement. Weird shit.
Yeah.
And really weird, because they're saying that he did it in 2021 when he was 18, that he donated.
Hmm.
So am I imagining this, or is there something missing here, James? Is there just a big chunk of something missing?
Yeah. Something's, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we probably won't know a lot because the guy was taken out. But yeah, something's missing. You got you have no evidence of the guy having these type of views of, we don't know why he would want to take out Donald Trump. We don't know who he's been around. Were there, was someone encouraging this? Was someone, you know, telling him what to do? Was he brainwashed? What happened? Those are, unfortunately, we won't have those answers because the guy was killed.
They're only going to dig as far as they want to dig, and the issue with this is you have the FBI looking into this, and the FBI
Hmm.
has already proven that they're not really a big fan of Donald Trump. So
No, they're not.
you know, so okay, so let's see. So they've tried to is there anything they have not trying to do? And I'm not saying that they're responsible for the assassination attempt, the elites and stuff. I'm saying that something's wrong there, something's weird there. But if you take everything else, everything's been tried to get Donald Trump out of the way.
Yeah,
Everything.
right.
I
Two
mean,
impeachments.
yes. Yeah. So let's.
Two impeachments. All you got the city of New York with the district attorneys that was trying to arrest
A
him
case
and
that's a
put him on
case that's
trial
going to be overturned by the courts.
by the
It's such a
court.
bad, but it's such a bad case. It's going to be overturned. You got a
Mhm.
case with a woman, Fannie Ellis, all corrupted down in Georgia. That case may not even come to trial, and it will be overturned because these are horrible cases.
Yeah, they're horrible, and they're also going around. They're also putting the people that were around him in jail. Or they're stripping them of being able to have a job, like Rudy Giuliani. They're trying to strip him of his legal license. They've put Steve Bannon in jail
Well, they
again.
put two people in jail for
Mhm.
contempt of Congress, and you just witnessed Merrick Garland contempt of Congress. You just witnessed people have it, and nothing happens to them, but it's a pick and choose now. That's what it comes down to. It's pick and choose.
Yeah.
But here's the problem that these guys are suffering now. Okay, they put Biden out there.
Mhm.
And James, we always knew Biden was in bad shape. How come we talked about it? We knew about it, but the people around him pretend that they were surprised.
Well, because I just think there's people that are pushing the buttons that's controlling him. He's obviously not competent. He's not, he doesn't have control of all of his faculties at this point, and people take advantage of that is what's happening. It's to me, it's elder abuse what's happening to him, but that's just my opinion.
And people, if you're a different side of the, if you're a Democrat, whatever, you don't like what we're saying, we're entitled to feel the blame. You know, I'm a Trump supporter. James is a Trump supporter.
I am. Mm-hmm.
We are entitled to be whatever the hell we want to be. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, because if you want to speak up, you can speak up. We have people on here that speak up every damn day on the other side. So, you know,
exactly.
God bless you. You have that right, just like we have here, you know, here's another thing that I find really strange, James. He gets 6 minutes into the speech.
Mm-hmm.
This happens.
Yeah.
So they don't you find it strange that this happened before he got to name his vice president?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely, you know, my understanding is that he was going to announce his we know it's a major announcement, and we're thinking
he said he had a big surprise yesterday.
Yeah. So yeah, it is ironic because again, if you know, the thing is that it just doesn't make sense. You know, the timing was very suspect.
And people, you got to understand, if something bad happened to Trump yesterday, this goes to the convention, and the rhinos are going to get their person. They're going to get Haley in there, guarantee it. Because she was second, and she held in. She stayed throughout that whole thing. I wonder why. So she stayed out through that whole thing. So they would have gotten the person that they want in there. Because Trump's not hated by one party; he's hated by two parties.
Yeah, what's happened with him, he's a populist. So what's happened is the establishment within the Republican Party doesn't like Trump, you know. They don't want him in there. Even like the Vice President Pence, he doesn't like Trump. But the people, what it is, you got people in the United States, you got the people across our country that support what Donald Trump is doing, and that irritates both the Democrats and people in the Republican Party. They don't like it.
And there's another thing happening here that there's very ultra liberals that are now moving totally away from this whole thing. And one of them, do you watch the Young Turks?
Young Turks, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay, it's one of the biggest platforms, liberal platforms, probably beyond liberal. And the gentleman there, Sink Uyghur, I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, I can't either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so he comes on yesterday, and this just happened. And this guy for the last week has been going off on Biden. So now they're saying he's a Trump supporter, but he's not. He's just reporting the truth, the facts. People don't like when people so we're gonna play what he said, James.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm hoping that we don't get tagged by him, but he didn't do it in the studio. He did it at home, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. Okay, this is him yesterday. He's out, and this just happens. So he's going to say some things that aren't right. But remember, this guy's an ultra liberal. I mean, literally to the socialist side. He's against Israel and everything. And this is the Young Turks. I want you to hear what he says. He's a very powerful man on the other side. Maybe one of the top most 5 powerful men, liberals in America.
President Trump was shot in a rally in Pennsylvania. The shooter appeared to be on a roof outside of the event, shot 5 times. I want to show you the video first. Let's watch.
Take a look at what happened.
Okay, we can't show that. I don't want to show that because we'll just show when he's down.
You see, you hear a final shot 15 seconds after the 5 or 6.
Hit around the neck or the ear. He grabs for his neck. It might be that the bullet ricocheted off of something else, and either the bullet hit him or a shrapnel hit him. That's why it's a superficial wound. What he's going to do next is going to be amazing, to be honest.
Now, this guy hates Trump. You
Yeah.
hear what he just said?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be amazing what he does.
Let's watch that.
So we got to move to the bus. Move to the bus. Let me get my... Okay, watch out. Wait.
You see him there say, wait, to the Secret Service.
Wait.
Then it appears he says to the crowd, fight. He looks totally heroic. You got to be honest about it. You have to be objective about it. That's our job. Look, thank God he's alive. Shooting your political opponents is an act of submission, unilateral surrender, saying my ideas are too weak. I can't beat you politically. I've got to end you physically. That's a disaster. The shooter is, of course, disgusting, both morally and, of course, politically. He's done nothing but terrible damage. And it is clearly an assassination attempt. 5 shots fired. BBC has an interview with an eyewitness that saw him on the roof with a rifle. It appears that this is not the best guess we have, that a bullet might have ricocheted or hit something else.
As we know, it didn't ricochet. It didn't hit anything else. That's what they were hoping for, that it was a ricochet.
Yeah.
It was a direct shot that within a quarter of an inch, it would have changed history.
Yeah, to me, yeah.
And
No,
hence,
go ahead.
That's why he has a superficial wound on his ear or neck. He's totally fine, but he really could have been killed. It was an assassination attempt. It appears the guy basically missed, hit something else, and that's why Trump was grazed. Those pictures and videos, now just from a purely political perspective, are going to look terrific for him. I've called him a coward hundreds of times, but here he was not. He was brave, and that was an incredible moment when he put his arm up and said, fight. So Trump's okay. Assassination attempt. He's alive. It's a disaster in every other way.
Now, when he says it's a disaster in every other way, James, you know what he means, right?
Well, he's saying it's disaster for the Democratic Party and Biden. Is what he's talking about.
Yeah. So, what do you think of that guy? He despises Trump, but he actually, but he came out with his partner, and they've been blasting the hell out of Biden's people for hiding everything about him. And so a lot of people are turning on him, but his ratings are going up because guys like me that used to hate him, I'm watching him because this guy is what it's supposed to be about. This is a guy that disagrees with everything I think that I agree with. Everything just about 90%.
Yeah.
But here he is, for him to sit there and say how heroic. And this is a guy that called Trump a coward over and over again.
Yeah, right.
Most people wouldn't do what he did, would they?
No, they wouldn't. And, the thing is that to me, if Biden was in the same boat and he did that, pumping up his fist, I would have felt the same way. Because the thing is that we, as a country, we won as a country. We would have lost if he would have been killed. And what I mean by that is not the candidate, but it's been our political system that someone that people don't like is taken out. And that didn't happen. And the country won by what Trump did. And he was heroic. And I would have said the same thing regardless of if it was Biden.
Okay, James, I'm going to put up that other Michael Francis thing.
Yeah.
He says, Donald Trump is a fighter. Trump is a true leader. Trump will not back down to enemies, domestic or abroad. Just look at his reaction, defiant. The shooter is dead. Our prayers are with our president, Trump. God bless the Secret Service. To a point. I believe that there's some blunders here by the Secret Service. The people around him did a great job. It's the people on the outer limits, the people that should have
Perimeter
seen.
area.
Yeah, and when they say that with inside the perimeter, are you telling me that 120 yards with a clear shot into the arena is not?
Well, that's the thing. That's a risk. I mean, the thing is that perimeter should have been. I mean, a sniper could shoot from nearly 1,000 feet, 800 yards away. I mean, 800 yard, which would be, 2,400
How
feet.
many yards was it that Kennedy got hit? It was one of the most brilliant shots ever. It was a shot that a moving car, and it was much longer than this.
But the thing is if you're going to do a shot, you want to be at an elevated area. You want the higher ground. The higher ground gives you the advantage. This guy, this 20-year-old, was on the higher ground, and for Secret Service to not realize that is a big blunder. And the thing is that honestly, some of those people should be fired for allowing that to happen, or at least discipline. I don't want anyone to lose their job, but if it was done on purpose, that's another thing.
Yeah, well, and we may never find that out because these are things that are usually covered up from Kennedy on. I mean, these are things, but by missing that bullet, he would have been a martyr no matter what.
He would have been a martyr, and I think I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I just believe there was providence. An angel was looking after him, in my opinion. Others may not believe it, but whatever it was, he was very fortunate, and he turned at the right moment to keep from, that was almost a headshot.
Yep. Not only a headshot at the temple.
The temple, yes.
At the temple, and so if you're going to hit someone in the head, that's where you want to hit them. You want to hit them in the temple.
Exactly.
And it's like just people. This could have been a whole lot worse. There's a lot of unanswered questions here, like we're saying right now. So we just wanted to do this together because we talked about this. And James, how much did it bother you yesterday?
No, I mean it bothered me a lot. It didn't. What bothered me more than anything is that you had our media that's supposed to give us facts that was downplaying it. They were saying that it was just firecrackers or it was all this other stuff, and we knew better than that, and so that bothered me. Also, what bothered me was that our freedom was attacked. This was saying that regardless of the party, this was not good for our country for that happened. But what was good is, we lost someone as well. I mean, we can't lose sight that there's a family that lost a father and, a husband.
A retired fire chief at that, and not that it means more than if he was a retired baker, but, this is a guy that put his life on the line quite a bit. He was a firefighter and then he died there.
It's just amazing the BBC did a better job than the American media.
Yeah, and the BBC isn't exactly pro-Trump, but they did Australia, they did a phenomenal job. I had to watch those networks to get the best reporting because CNN refused for 12 hours to say it was an assassination attempt.
Yeah.
For 12 hours, people. MSNBC, they did it right away. I got to give them credit. Fox was right on it, and it doesn't matter. People can say, "Oh, Fox," but Fox was right on it, whether you like it or not, whether you like Fox or not. I'm not really a big Fox fan, people. I watch, but so you had some honest people here, like this guy Senk from the Young Turks, and he has a viewer now because I know that he speaks from the heart, whether he disagrees with me. He speaks from the heart. He doesn't speak full of hate.
Yeah. Also, Newsmax did a good job. They have an online thing where you don't have to pay money, at least yesterday. Right. So Newsmax did a pretty good job. And I think they're more conservative, I guess. But, I watched some of Newsmax because, I just couldn't. I mean, the mainstream media, they were really trying to lie to American people, and it was really
right. Well, they've been lying about a guy that's senile that everybody knew was senile.
Yeah,
and they're still lying about him.
Yeah,
and that whole thing's weird as heck. But in the end, whatever happened here, whether this is one person or a plan,
Yeah.
And I'm not a conspiracy type of guy,
Right.
but this stuff all happened at the best time for an assassin to kill Trump. This was the best time to take him down before he announced his vice president choice.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't pass the sniff test. When things don't, usually when things like that happen, that doesn't pass the sniff test, and there really was something that was sinister that we weren't aware of.
And I like to say this to you Trump haters out there that still want to hate.
Mm-hmm.
This is something this is legendary stuff. It's like, you say The Last Don. Remember they did that show, Sandy Gravano, The Biggest Joke in the World, The Last Don? No,
Yeah.
The Last Don is Donald Trump. That's the last.
Exactly.
That's the most famous Don that ever existed.
Yeah.
And he will be the most famous Don. He's 78. No one knows. You get to a certain point in life, you don't know how long you're going to be around.
Yeah.
But this attempt on his life politically showed you a lot of things. It tells you a lot of things about a lot of people. Watch how people react and the things they say. That tells them and describes them as human beings.
Well, it shows he's strong too, mentally, physically strong. He
they say
got
he's
up for them.
Yeah. It's something like Mike Tyson said. Mike Tyson said the reason he loves Trump is because when he got in trouble, Trump was the only one that talked about what happened with the woman the way that it really happened. That's what we don't know whether it happened that way. But he went away, and then when he went away, Mike Tyson, they robbed his bank account. He came out broke.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is something that whether you like Trump or not, Trump says dumb things. He does things that don't make sense. Sometimes he does things that piss me off. But yesterday, when he put his fist up in the air and said, "Fight, fight, fight," people look for the #1 selling T-shirts that are going to be coming out. They're everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and look, and those independents that were stuck in the middle. You know how many of those independents jumped on the Trump bandwagon yesterday?
Oh, I'm sure, definitely.
Do you know how many minorities that are in zones where they see their friends gunned down and stuff, see this man get up from a gunshot to the ear, pump his fist?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, people? Think about that. Think about that. That's all I got to say, James. You close this out.
Yep. No, that's all I have. So anyway, I appreciate everyone watching today. I just ask that you, hit the like button and subscribe to both of our channels. So, we have Wrestling with the Devil, Lee Cole 3 podcast, and then also, Real Mob Stories with James Proctor. So please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and then we will talk with you guys again soon. Thanks, everyone.
And congratulations to James, because he's about to hit 30,000 probably within the next 7 days. Would you say, James?
Yeah, probably in the next week or so. Yeah. And
in the next week or so on my channel, I'm going to hit 8,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, I left here, you took over, you picked up 12,000 subs since I left. I went and started a new channel from when I got there. It was 600, and now we're going to hit 8,000 probably by next week.
That's it.
So guys, we're out here trying our best and busting our ass and stuff.
Yeah.
No matter what people say about me or James, we run good channels and we try to give you entertainment. James, thank you.
Thank you.
And everybody, take care. And come over to Wrestling with the Devil if you want to see my show and hear.
Yeah.
James. Take care, people.